Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for your continued support of the channel. I really do appreciate it. And just a quick reminder that if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and you're interested in doing so, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below so that you'll always be notified when I upload a new reading. So in today's pick a card reading, we're going to be getting the channeled message of the day from Spirit. And to do this reading, I've laid out 3 piles of cards here. Pile 1, you're going to be this white crystal here. Pile 2, you're going to be this cream and brown crystal here. And pile 3, you're going to be this yellow heart crystal here. So take a minute and focus on the piles and decide which one you're most drawn to. You can then scroll down to the description box below where I have timestamps listed for each pile. You can then click on your timestamp and you'll be directly forwarded to your reading. So let's get into this reading. Hi, pile ones, you guys chose the white crystal here. Let's take a look at your message of the day. So you have the owl spirit here, and it says, there are spiritual messages and great wisdom to be found during this period of transition. You also have, you're too amazing to follow everyone else. Forge your own path. You have the new moon in Libra with know you are loved. You have number 6 with shock of the new. You have volunteer. And finally, you have number 35 with boundaries. Interesting. So I'm getting the message from Spirit here, pile 1, that you may be going through some sort of change right now, or a transition maybe. And I feel like it's a time of wisdom for you. It's a time of learning and growing. Because we do have this card here which talks about wisdom. And it talks about spiritual messages. So I feel like you're going through a cycle or change here where you're learning spiritual lessons. Your soul is growing and expanding, and you're gaining wisdom and consciousness here. And I feel like, we have this shock of the new here. So I do feel like this is a time of newness for you, a time of, like I said before, growth, change. And it may be shocking to some of you, this spiritual phase that you're going through. But I do feel like it's important for you to, number 1, know that you are loved. Know that you are loved by your guides, by spirit, by your higher power. Know that you are loved by the people here on earth who you are connected to. And know that they support you in this change, however that resonates for you. This could be a change within yourself that you're going through. Maybe you're dropping old belief patterns and ways of doing things, or maybe this is a change of, maybe you moved recently and this is a change of location, or maybe this is a change in a relationship, however it resonates here. But Spirit really wants you to know that you are supported during this period of transition. You are loved, pile 1. And they also want you to be independent here and follow your own path, whatever that means for you. Because this card says you're too amazing to follow everyone else. So Spirit really just wants you to be the way shower here, be the pathfinder, and do your own thing, forge your own path here, whatever that means for you. And I also feel like, there's a message here about maybe giving of your time or your resources or your energy in some way, because we do have the volunteer card here. So maybe it's time for some of you to look into volunteering, whether that's volunteering in your community or volunteering, at your job or within your family unit, however that resonates here. But there is this spirit of giving here and the spirit of being generous with our time, with our resources. So I do feel like Spirit is calling some of you here in this pile to maybe look into volunteering. And we also have the boundaries card here, which talks about setting boundaries with others and setting boundaries maybe even for ourselves. Maybe things aren't balanced within our life and we need to set boundaries, in terms of spending time resting or spending time playing, having fun. This could be setting boundaries with others, letting them know what is acceptable and what isn't, letting them know what you need in terms of space or time. So it could resonate differently here for everybody, but I do feel like I said, you're gaining a lot of wisdom during this transition here. And there is a lot of newness. There's a lot of new experiences that are coming into your life, I feel. So just be open to that, pile one. So I just want to get some tarot now to clarify this message. So you have the Knight of Cups. And that's beautiful because it talks about this love here. So I do feel like for some of you, this Knight of Cups could represent someone in your life here who does love you. Someone that is wearing their heart on their sleeve and wants to offer you this love. So this could be a partner, a spouse, this could be a lover, this could also be someone that's coming into your life here, someone new that you haven't met yet, that's sort of racing in to give you their heart here. But however it resonates, I do feel like you are very loved, pile one. So I love that. You also have the Ace of Pentacles here. And that can talk about a new opportunity, some sort of wealth or job or resources that are available to you. So I do feel like for some of you, this could be a new job, so maybe you've just recently transitioned into a new job or career, or maybe that's something that you desire to do that's coming in the future. Or this could be, a new home or a new source of income, whatever it is here. I do feel like there is some sort of opportunity here that's waiting for you. And I feel like it's a beautiful one because we have this pie here with all of these yummy things on it. So I do feel like it's something sweet. It's a very sweet opportunity here that is waiting for you. You also have the Three of Swords energy, which can talk about hurt and heartbreak and difficulties. Sometimes it can talk about emotions. So I feel like for some of you in this pile, you may have been through like a difficult relationship or emotional situation, and it's caused you some pain. It's caused you some heartbreak here. And that's, maybe I think why we have this boundaries card here. So maybe some of you need to set boundaries with this person. Maybe said something or did something, and you need to set boundaries with that person, in order to sort of balance that relationship out and heal this pain here. You also have the Ten of Wands, which can be an energy of heaviness, of burden, of feeling tired, feeling stressed out. So I do feel like, for some of you in this pile, maybe you're coming out of this difficult time here, and you're sort of in this transition of transitioning from this heaviness, this burden, to this time of lightness and this time of wisdom and growth. And, I do feel like this energy here is in the past. It's over for you, pile one, and you're moving into a time of growth and wisdom and knowing that you're loved and forging your own path and being, surprised by all the new opportunities. So beautiful energy, pile one. So I just want to get one last message here for you guys. So Spirit, can I get a final message or guidance for pile one, please? Final message or guidance, please. Final message or guidance. Okay, so you have the Tempest here. Interesting. Because the Tempest talks about, stormy weather, things being difficult, obstacles. So I do feel like, some of you in this pile may have been through this storm here. And I feel like, this is what we were talking about before with the Three of Swords and the Ten of Wands. There may have been a difficult experience or time that you went through. And I do feel like you are coming out of that storm here. And this is a time of transition or change for you for the better, pile one. You're moving out of the storm. And I do feel like you are changing tremendously through this process, because we do have the butterfly here, which represents metamorphosis and change. So just know that you are changing, pile one. You are growing in wisdom, in spirituality. And, it's really going to be a positive change, I feel. So very interesting energy. So that is all I have for you guys, pile one. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope it was helpful. If it was, please let me know down below. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi, pile two. So you guys chose this cream and brown crystal here. Let's take a look at your message of the day. So you have the Raven here with confidence. And it says, you are encouraged to disconnect from the physical or materialistic plan and move to the spiritual realm. You have a deep spiritual connection, which you mustn't ignore. You are on the brink of transformation, and your divine purpose may be revealing itself. Beautiful. You also have gratitude here, and it says receiving, blessings, thanksgiving. You have moonlit dance, and it says embrace your sense of adventure as you look at the promises that you have made to yourself. You also have a blessing of the air here. You have the cave. And finally, you have the crown chakra with infinite. And it says, this divine connection is the bridge waiting to be crossed. Wow, love this energy. So I'm getting the message from Spirit here, pile two, that you guys have a very strong spiritual connection in this pile. You may be very intuitive. You may be very psychic. Um, but you have this strong spiritual connection here that your guides and your higher power and your angels really want you to explore. Um, they really want you to sort of take your mind off the physical things, take your mind off the 3D and really move your consciousness and your vibration to the 5D, to the spiritual realm. So maybe that means spending time in meditation or spending more time in prayer, spending more time connecting with your guides, however that resonates here, but really focusing on your spirituality, pile 2. And I do feel like a way for you to do that is to sort of go into this cave here where maybe you find a sacred spot for yourself. Maybe that's outside in nature, or maybe that's under the sun, because we do have the sun energy here. Or maybe that's in your home in a sacred sanctuary. But however it is, wherever it is, I feel like you need to go within right now and really focus on that connection with the divine that you have and that is very powerful, pile 2. And I do feel like, this card talks about your divine purpose being revealed. So maybe some of you will discover your divine purpose by going within, by spending time with yourself and with your thoughts. And I do feel like this is going to require confidence, for some of you. Maybe, you don't feel confident right now in your talents or abilities. And, Spirit really wants you to sort of remember that you do have this, deep spiritual connection. And maybe for some of you, it's related to your divine purpose. So maybe, your spiritual connection is somehow intertwined with your divine purpose. So that could be something to explore as well for some of you. But I do feel like, it's going to require you going within. It's going to require you embracing this sense of adventure here. And because I do feel like, with this card, it talks about promises that you've made to yourself. So maybe some of you have promised yourself, even before you incarnated here, that you are going to do a certain thing or be a certain thing. And Spirit really wants you to remember that and to go after whatever that thing is. Maybe you've always wanted to write a book or paint a masterpiece or, whatever it is here. But Spirit just wants you to sort of go after that, what you want to do, what you're meant to do. And we also have gratitude here. So I do feel like, practicing gratitude is also very important for this pile. Remembering to say thank you to your guides, to your higher power for everything that you do have. Being open to the blessings that Spirit wants to bring you, pile 2. And, I do feel like we do have the blessing of the air here. So I do feel like Spirit and your guides are blessing the air around you right now, pile 2, clearing it, making it clean and healthy for you. And you have this blessing of air all around you. And I do feel like it's cleansing you in some way. It's purifying you, pile 2. And it's really beautiful energy here. And, I do feel like I said, the crown chakra is very important right now. Really spending time in your connection with Spirit and really going within is sort of the message here. So I just want to get some tarot now to clarify this. So you have the Knight of Wands. And that can be this energy of going after what we want. pile 2, going after what you want to do or be. So like I said, if it's a dream that you've always had, go for that dream, pile 2. Don't wait. If you're passionate about something, pursue it. And let that light shine, pile 2. You also have the 2 of Swords here, which can be when we're sort of at a crossroads. Maybe we don't know what we want to do yet. Maybe we have a lot of ideas and we're sort of juggling different jobs or juggling different passions. So I do feel like, there is a need to sort of make a decision here, to go after what we want, to do what we want to do, and not be in this state of indecision here. So interesting. You also have the Fortune Cookie, which is the Wheel of Fortune card. And that talks about fate and destiny and cycles. And I do feel like it's also talking about, your spiritual connection, pile 2, that strong faith and divine connection that you have. And I feel like it's important to honor that, and it's important to explore that, pile 2. So I love that. You also have the Ace of Wands in reverse here. And that can be when we're not pursuing our passion, when we're not going after what we want, when there's this stalemate, like I talked about before here. So I really feel like it's important to get in touch with your inner self and with your spiritual connection so that you can find your divine purpose here and you can pursue it, pile 2. So very interesting. So I want to get one last message here for you guys. So Spirit, can I get a final message or guidance for pile 2, please? Can I get a final message or guidance, please, for pile 2? Okay, so you have this card here, and it says, weigh your emotions carefully. Find equilibrium within. Yeah, and that's that balancing energy again. Sort of like the 2 of Swords here. I feel like there is this need to find balance here in this pile. And like this card says, maybe weighing your emotions. So maybe you're having, wavering emotions about something. Maybe there's something you want to do, but part of you is saying, oh, I can't do that. Or, I want to do this, but I don't know if I'm capable of it. I don't know if I can do it. And that's where the confidence comes in, pile 2, really having confidence in yourself and your abilities and your ability to do whatever this passion or desire is, the ability to achieve that, to go after that. And, I do feel like it's important to maybe weigh your emotions here, and find that balance. So interesting energy. So that is all I have for you guys today, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading and I hope it was helpful. If it was, please let me know down below. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi, pile 3. So you guys chose this yellow heart here. Let's take a look at your message of the day. So you have the Seer here. You also have be open, things change, with the sacred tunic cross. You have after the rain, and it says silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance. You have Yuki Onna with stillness. You have elements here, and it says, remember to feel the warmth pulsing through her womb. You are a child of mother. The true harmony awaits you. Just just going to cover this here. Finally, you have, I'm going to cover this as well, the sacred well, and it says replenishment, self-care, giving from a place of plenty. Beautiful energy, pile 3. So I'm getting the message from Spirit here, pile 3, that some of you in this pile may have been through a difficult time or experience lately or recently. And there's this sense of really coming out of that difficulty here and being open to the change and the transformation that is waiting for you, pile 3. Because we do have this card, be open, things change. So I do feel like there is this beautiful sense of hope here and of relief. We have the silver lining and relief energy here. So I do feel like this is a change for the better, pile 3. This is a time of coming out of difficulty into the light, into the beauty, into the harmony that is waiting for you. And I feel like it's really important for you to find the stillness right now. Find this place of stillness. Maybe you want to meditate. Maybe you want to rest, take naps. Maybe you want to spend time in nature. But however you can come to this peace here and find the stillness is really important for you, I feel like, in order to get this relief here and to come to this place of peace and harmony and beauty, pile 3. And, I do feel like self-care is also going to be really important right now. Really giving to yourself, spending time taking care of yourself and putting your needs first, pile 3, so that you can go through this transformation and really find that stillness within you, that peace within you. And, I do feel like there is this beautiful rainbow that's coming out here for you. And, like I said, you may have been through, maybe it was a difficult relationship that you went through, or a difficult time experience, a difficult job, a difficult connection, however it resonates here. But I feel like you are coming out of that difficulty here, and it's important to focus on yourself and to give to yourself. And I do feel like this true harmony is waiting for you here. So, with the elements card being here, I do feel like it's important to honor all of the elements, spend time outside, maybe spend time by the water, spend time with the earth, really connecting with the elements. I feel like will really help you find balance right now and find this beautiful peace and stillness here at pile 3. And I also, get the message with this Sierra energy being here that you are very psychic, pile 3. You are very spiritual, and you have a lot of gifts. Some of you in this pile, I feel like have the ability to see things or feel things that others do not. You have this seer energy within you, and it's important to really connect with that so that you can go through this transition and you can alchemize those difficulties into harmony and into peace for yourself. So very interesting energy. So I just want to get some tarot now to clarify this energy here, pile 3. So you have the 3 of Cups in reverse. And that can be when, we've had a difficult time. We've had a difficult emotional experience. And maybe there's been disharmony in our life. Maybe we've had conflicts with others, or maybe we've, been in a state of feeling sad or feeling unhappy with something in our lives. And I do feel like you have the ability to change this, to alchemize this energy, pile 3. And that's sort of what Spirit is talking about here. Spirit is saying it's over. Whatever that difficulty is, it's over. And it's time to find the peace and the balance again and find the harmony again, pile 3. You also have the 9 of Cups, which talks about happiness and fulfillment. It talks about this true harmony here. So I do feel like, there is this time of happiness coming into your life here. And Spirit just wants you to be open to that change, be open to that fulfillment, that sense of peace and just enjoying yourself, having fun, maybe spending time by the beach, just enjoying your life and enjoying this time of relief, and of happiness here. You also have the 10 of Swords in reverse. And that can be actually a good energy because it talks about coming out of hardship, coming out of the difficulties, coming out of the pain, and moving into a better time, into a better place. So, like I said, this message is really about, accepting that you've been through something difficult here, but being open to the change and being open to the good things and the good times, pile 3. So I love that. You also have the 8 of Cups in reverse. And again, that's a good place for this card because it talks about transition out of difficulty into the light, into positive times, into good things. So again, there's sort of a repeated message here about you moving out of a time of difficulty to a time of stillness and beauty and peace here. So I love that. So I just want to get one last message here for you guys. So Spirit, can I get a final message or guidance for pile 3, please? Final message or guidance, please. Okay, so you have journey and voyage here. Beautiful. So I feel like for some of you, this process of this transition has been a journey for you. It's been a time of going from one state of being to another, going from the difficulties to the good times, going from the darkness to the light, going from, unhappiness to happiness. For others of you, I feel like, it may be helpful for you to take some sort of trip right now, some sort of voyage, maybe that will help you in this transition, or maybe that will, bring new opportunities and bring happiness for you. So I do get that energy here that, some of you may be traveling or taking a trip here. Or if you don't have plans to, maybe you should make plans to. There is this energy of movement here with this card. And I feel like that's the state that you're in here is moving from, a hard time to an easier time, pile 3. So love that. So that is all I have for you guys today, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading and I hope it was helpful. If it was, please let me know down below. Otherwise, have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye.